Yep, you heard it correctly. Phineas and Ferb hiatus ends today. If I'm being completely honest, Disney was very, very unclear about details. I was genuinely convinced the hiatus would last until 2026. Do better, Disney. Anyways, I haven't posted in 2 months, and for good reason. I have college and work to think about, and not to mention my entire little side project. I don't really have time for this stuff, but Saturday's my free day, so I'll continue to do these Phineas and Ferb reviews, and maybe start planning some other videos for later. Anyways, Bend It Like Doof and Dooflicated just dropped, and I'm here to do what I do best, analyze. I was obviously pretty disappointed when I learned Dooflicated wasn't double length, but I had weeks to get over that disappointment, so I went in with pretty moderate expectations. And so, was I disappointed? No, not at all. These were a pair of solid episodes, and without wasting your time, I'm gonna go straight into it. Bend It Like Doof, the moment I read the synopsis, I knew this episode would be very funny. And, well, you bet it was. This felt like a kid-friendly Season 2 Family Guy episode, and don't take it negatively that I name-drop Family Guy, I mean it in a good way. Also, for my own good, I think I just won't comment on the animation this time at all because y'all already know what I feel about that. Basically, the premise is as follows. Heinz and Francis are arguing about Alka needing love muffins to survive and vice versa. And so they decide to settle it with a football game. Right off the bat, Heinz being a Twitch streamer is literally the best thing ever. And I took the time to look at the live chat, and they genuinely did a wonderful job at making it feel realistic. Like, wow.
They fight it out. What's a sip?
This caught me way off guard. The kids subplot is very, very weird. They're doing, what's this? Normal kid things? They're playing a game they call Hit the Thing with a Stick. And the premise is that Buford somehow always manages to miss the target. Yes, this is another one of those subplots where the kids are silent. But for some reason, I find this one to be better than some of the last ones. The subplot overall just feels funny on its own merit. It's little things like the random Harding Collider or Isabel's stick addiction that make this subplot. What also helps is Candace, who's judging them so hard for doing something so mundane, in the funniest way possible. In any case, it's another directionless subplot, but they tried to be creative with it, and I have to give credits for that. I also like how Perry used the stick toss to access his lair. It implies that he played this game with the boys before, and I like that. The football plot on its own was honestly really great. I obviously was disappointed that Peter and Pinky made no appearance, though. Also, Romney not coming back makes me wonder if Dan and Swampy weren't able to get his voice actor back. That'd be a shame, he's a really amusing character. Dink Winkerson's appearance really made me raise an eyebrow. Not only because he ruined the lemonade stand of those poor girls.
You bastard.
But also, why is this guy a recurring character again? I'm assuming Dan wanted him in because he misses Rihanna Cahill, and I get it, she's awesome, but like, I'm not complaining, he's a funny enough character, but it feels so weird to see a character who was so insignificant in the original run make more major appearances than this legend. The song lineup was okay, none of the songs between the two episodes were all that groundbreaking, but I think it's worth mentioning that Robbie Wyckoff is back singing for this show. I got pissed when he did like every song in Hamster and Gretel Season 2, but this time around I'm actually pleased to hear his voice again. Probably preparing for Hockey Z9. This episode also has 2 guest stars who I'm not going to pretend I know. I will give them props though. I'm really glad they actually tried to do something with the characters, rather than just saying, here's a guest star, everyone, and calling it a day. I also love Klimploon's random appearance as the referee. My favorite thing about this subplot has got to be Monogram. Like, when he told Carl he wouldn't go on, I was certain he was overstating how good he actually was. Then, he did go on, and his feral mode was actually kind of terrifying. Like, I did not expect this level of aggression at all. I knew that they would tie from the start, so the in-between really had to sell to make the episode worth it, and it did. It really did. For the first time, the first episode, in my opinion, is the better one. Bend It Like Doof gets a true A for me. Yes, I'm being that generous with this ranking. This episode was just that good.
A bat is a bat! Carl, get back! Get back!
Even with the minor shortcomings I mentioned earlier, this episode does the best they can with the setting, and it helps that the episode is just so unbelievably funny for some reason, in every aspect. Now let's move on to the highly anticipated episode, Dooflicated. In this episode, the gang gets shot by a ray that gives them Doof's personality. People have been excited for this episode for months, so did it deliver? Let me tell you. Now first off, there's this scene at the very beginning of the episode.
My calendar says it's Red Bull Hot Tub Day. Oh, okay. Let's focus on what Phineas and Ferb want to do. We never do that.
It's no surprise to see Baljeet or Isabella act like this, but seeing Ferb and especially Phineas act like this is kind of jarring to say the least. Nevertheless, it was kind of funny. The premise is as follows. Vanessa has written a college report about her role model, that being Roger, and Hind is jealous, and so he wants to give Roger his personality to make him better by default. For starters, it was great to see Norm. We have seen so little of him this season. You probably remember what happens next. The beam hits the boys and then they turn evil. Though it also hits Jeremy, which leads to a funny exchange.
Extra onions! Extra evil!
I don't know what Candace sees in that guy.
I'm gonna stop beating around the bush and say the thing. This episode absolutely needed to be double M. Like, this is a solid episode, don't get me wrong, but that's just it. This premise is bursting with potential. Solid does not cut it. And I'm not saying this episode's badly written. For its time, it's the absolute best they could do, and that's the problem. Time. Some story just cannot be compressed into the 11-minute segment without feeling undercooked. Take the Beak. If this episode was 11 minutes long, it would not feel complete at all. And that's exactly how I feel about this episode. Like, seeing the kids adopting Doof's mannerisms was really funny, and the voice actors did an incredible job at that front, but they only ever interacted with Candace and the townspeople, never each other. Think of how funny it would be to see Phineas and Isabella act while in this state, or Buford and Baljeet. Same goes for Linda, Lawrence, and Jeremy. What the thing is that they could have done more with the Doof conflict. The way it's resolved is that Vanessa just confesses that she only put Roger's name because he's a big name. But wouldn't it have been better if it had Doof reflect on why Vanessa may not think he's a good role model? I mean, after the battle days, I've really expected some real depth. It's fine though. Negativity aside, episode was funny. Phineas and Ferb's evil scheme being to force people to have fun is so in character for them. It also reminds me of Appley's Funhouse from VeggieTales. Ferb yelling
Curse you, Candace the sister!
was absolutely fantastic as well. The little rap that Dink Winkerson got kinda went hard too, though I'm still not sure if I'm on board with him as a recurring character. How does he keep escaping jail? I give Doof K to the B+. Good episode, but had potential to be a lot better. Overall, Season 5 still going good, and aside from a few caveats, it's truly keeping the spirits of the show alive. I'll be back next week to review the next episodes. If I remember correctly, next week's episodes are Dragoon Fest and Space Adventure. Weekly reviews are back, and once I have the time, I'll start making other videos too. There are a lot of stuff I want to talk about. There are a lot of stuff I'd like to talk about, both Phineas and Ferb related and things in relation to other media, and hopefully I'll find the time to make more videos. Hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye now. I got some in my eyes. Lost a bet, got bit by 100 flies. Fell out of a big old tree. Hit every branches, scraped up both my knees. I got chased by dogs, licked by a frog. Got a rash on my leg, dropped a dozen eggs. I got splitters in 7 and 10. And tomorrow, I'll do it all again.